send some mail from our Gmail account with Node Mailer. I'm going to follow this article here more or less because I have a Gmail account and I want to use Node Mailer. You can go ahead and use this too, or follow the docs. The docs are a little bit sparse in my opinion, so this Medium article really helped. All right, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to install Node Mailer. So I am going to open up a terminal, I'm going to cd into my front end, and I'm going to install Node Mailer. All right. The next thing that we need to do is we need to create a transporter to use our Gmail account. So I'm going to make a file called mail.ts. All right, and I am going to go ahead and paste in the copied transporter from this article. All right, I am going to import. See, it doesn't know in Node Mailer, so I'm going to go ahead and do import all as Node Mailer from Node Mailer. All right, now it's a lot less unhappy. I think this is just because we're not using it. Okay, so service is going to be Gmail. All right, my host is going to be this. Port, sure, secure, true. So the only thing that I need to alter in this is going to be the email and password. So my email is going to be callie@gmail.com, and my password I have in my env file. Now, there is a whole list of instructions here about how to go and find your Gmail password to use for Node Mailer, okay? So you can go ahead and follow this. I did this previously, so I already have mine, all right? And mine is in my env, so I am going to use process.env.gmail password. All right. I'm not sure if it's going to pick up on my Gmail password, so I am going to use const.env equals require.env. So this is a package. Let's make sure I have it. I do. I already have it installed because I've used it elsewhere, but .env helps bring in your env variables by using this function .env.config. All right. Let's give that a try. All right, so we already have our app password. All right, now we need to compose and send our email, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and copy this function here that uses my transporter to send mail. All right, and I am going to, I'm passing in mail options, but I don't have them now, so I'm going to edit this a little bit. So it is a function I can call from my service. So I'm going to say export const send mail is going to be equal to async. Then I'm going to pass in my mail options and a callback. All right, then within there, I'm going to try to send the mail by doing await transporter dot send mail with my mail options. All right, and I'm going to say const details equals. Okay, so I'm going to try this. Okay. And if that works, then I'm going to do callback and I'm going to pass in the details. Okay, so this is going to send my mail here, and then it's going to give me the details about the mail it just sent. And so then whatever callback I pass into it, I'm going to call that function and I'm going to pass the details to it. Okay? If it doesn't work, I'm going to catch the error and I'm going to console.log the error. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this now that I edit it to how I want it. Okay. So now I should be able to use this send mail function within my service. Okay. So let's go ahead and switch over to our service. All right. So I don't need a console log here anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say send mail. Okay. And then I'm going to use my mail options. Okay. So here is an example of the mail options. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this object. And I'm going to put that in for mail options. And then I'm going to also pass in a callback, which I'm just going to do a console log. Password reset email sent. All right, so I'm going to say from Callie @gmail.com. Recipient is going to be user.email. Okay, the subject is going to be project planning tool reset your password. And then I can just do, let's just do testing for now. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about the string. I guess let's, just so it's not mad at us, let's console log the string, the token. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a try. So I'm gonna open up my console here and it is upset about my config. All right, so I am going to restart my server and see if the same error comes up. All right, I'm going to see if I can do my old way of doing it. So I'm going to do const.env equals require.env. All right, it still seems mad, so I'm going to add disable the TypeScript error on that, but my API is working now, so hopefully that means that the password is getting drawn in correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this now. I'm going to reset my password. I'm going to say calliestoscup@gmail.com. and send verification email. So it says the password reset email sent. So I am going to go ahead and open up my email and I'm going to show the email off. So as you can see, I have testing within it and then project planning tool reset your email. So that is perfect and exactly what we wanted. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's figure out how to, all right, so that's where this one ends. That is okay. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to use a template instead to send the mail. So we are going to look at that. So let's say node, mailer, Gmail, HTML template. Let's look at this. All right. Okay, so it looks like they're adding on an HTML instead of the text, okay, to here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Or let's just not worry about an HTML template right now. We don't need it to be pretty, we just need it to work. So I'm gonna add backticks, and I'm going to say, you can reset your password here. All right, and then I'm going to put a link, which maybe I need HTML for. Okay, let's do HTML, and then it looks like we want to do a path to the HTML. All right, so I'm going to make another document, and I'm going to say reset password template.ts. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say export const reset password template. All right, and then I'm going to return my HTML. All right, so I am going to be then calling this, let's just do a simple HTML. All right, let's do H1 reset your password, H1, and then let's do P, click on this link, P, and then let's do A. All right, and maybe I do click here, and then I'm going to copy this up here. Okay, then I want to add an href. So I have the link that it's going to go to, and I want it to go to http://localhost. Where is this at? 3002 slash, and what did we say we want that to be? Reset password. Reset dash password. Okay, and then we're going to do slash, and we are going to pass in here a token and an ID. So slash token slash ID. All right. I'm going to say that that is good enough for now. Okay, and then also I'm going to want to make sure it sends to a new page. So I'm going to do target equals underscore blank. All right, we are going to give that a try and see if that works. Okay, so we are going to we have to import reset password template, and then we are going to pass in the token and the user.id. Oh, my bad. Okay, cool. So now let's give this a try. So we want to reset password, and then we're going to type in our password, calliestoscup@gmail.com. Send verification email. All right, it says password reset email sent. All right, let's go and look at that. Reset your password, click here. I'm going to click here, and I got an error, but that's okay. I'll show you why in a second. And it looks like I'm at the right thing though, localhost 3002 / reset password, and then token and ID. All right, so this worked as expected. We don't need to return hi here, and we don't need to console log our token here. So obviously this could be styled more, and you'll need to add a bunch of things, and we can do that a little bit later, but it works. All right, so now we need to return to the front end. So let's go ahead, and we created the reset password route on the API, and we created a reset password function that checks if the email exists in our system, and if it finds the email, it sends the email to the user with a link to the password reset page the user ID and JWT. Perfect. All right, now we need to create a reset password route on the front end. So let's go ahead and do that. And just close out of all of my tabs. All right, so I can add a page on the index.tsx here, and I want to find this, and the path is going to be reset-password, and we need to then add a page here. So we're going to call this reset password.tsx. We're going to say const reset password equals, and then we're going to return, all right, box, and we're going to call this password reset page. All right, then we are going to export our component so we can use it on the router here. All right, so now if I reset this, it's still going to error because I didn't account for the parameters. So then I'm going to say token/ID. And now we are on our password reset page. Nice. All right. So I should be able to click here, and it opens my password reset page. All right, that is awesome. Now on our password reset page, I want to get my params. So I'm going to say const params equals use params from React router, and then I'm going to console log my params to make sure that those came in correctly. Params, ID, and token. Okay, so then I'm going to deconstruct this here, so I can say const ID and token, and then I'm going to say ID and console.log token. Make sure that this deconstructed properly, and it looks like it did. All right, so I went ahead and I created the reset password route on the front end, but we need to make sure it has a form to enter and re-enter a new password. All right, I think this is where we're going to do this one, and then we're going to save the final 3 developer tasks for the next video, okay? So if you notice here, we already have a nice page with 2 fields here. So I am going to actually copy from my login, okay? And I'm going to steal this form control section. You know, I'm going to steal the whole box. Yeah, I'm actually going to steal the whole component, and then we'll just get rid as we see fit. Okay. And again, if you are noticing that you're doing what I'm doing and you are stealing entire sections of code, that means that it is time to modularize your code. All right. So when we get to the make it better portion of things, we can go ahead and do that. All right. So we don't need a username. We do need 2 passwords though. So we are going to copy this. We're going to do password, and then we're going to do re-enter password. Okay. And here we're going to say reset your password. All right. I'm going to do value password, value second password, on change second password. On change password is error password is error second password. And then I think this error message should be passwords must match. Okay. All right, we do not need that portion of things, and we do not need the password forgot modal. All right, so I'm going to delete the imports that we don't need. All right, so we are going to need then const is error password is going to be equal to, all right, we're going to need a state for password set password is equal to use state. I'm going to import from React. So then I'm going to say password is equal to an empty string. All right. Then we are going to need to repeat this with second password. Set second password. And then we are going to need to repeat this with is error second password. And then I'm actually going to say password is not equal to second password. Right, so the first one, the password itself is incorrect if it's blank, and the second one is incorrect if it's not equal to the first one. Okay, so now we need the onChange functions and the onSubmit. So we say const onChange password. It's going to take in an E, which is an event, and it is going to set password equal to e.target.value. The other one is going to be onChange second password, and it's going to set second password equal to e.target.value. And then the final function that we need is onSubmit. Const onSubmit is equal to, all right, so onSubmit, we are going to want to set password back to an empty string, which is also what it should start out with. And we want to set second password back to an empty string. And that is going to be if they are valid. So I am going to also do console.log password. And then we are going to do console.log second password. All right. I think this is a good start here. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right. So I'm going to click on reset password, okay, to see our form here. And we got password is required and re-enter password, okay? So I want to add another additional 2 states here because I don't want this red squiggly to pop up immediately. I only want it on submit. So I'm going to say const on submit password set on submit password equals use state. Okay, and then we're going to do const on submit second password set on submit second password equals use state and then empty. Okay, so we're going to say is error password is equal to string, and on submit password is equal to true. So we're going to start out with false and false. All right, so now it's not angry at us here. And then this one is password is not equal to second password, and on submit second password is equal to true. Okay, so let's go ahead and type in some passwords and verify that things are going correctly. So I'm going to type in test 1, 2, 3, 4. Then here I'm going to type in test 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to hit submit. Password test 1, 2, 3, 4. Second password test 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I am going to write here set password nope. Got that state wrong. Set submit. I don't know. I think it should just be submit password. Set submit password. Submit second password. Set submit second password. Sorry, I want to make sure my wording makes sense to me when I reread this later. Okay, so we're going to say set submit password equals to true, and then set submit second password equal to true. Okay, so let's clear this. This is going to be test. This is going to be test 1. All right. I'm going to comment that out. Let's try again. Test 1. Passwords must match. All right, now the passwords match. If I get rid of that, then now we have 2 issues. Okay, so on change, what we're going to do is we're going to set submit password back to false, because we are no longer ready to submit our password if we're typing in there. And then we're going to say set submit second password back to false, because we're also no longer ready to do that. Okay, so if I just click submit with nothing, I'm going to get an error in this top one. So I'm going to type in test. Okay. I don't know why that one's doing that. All right, so, oh, because I set it to true here. So do I want to then set submit second password to false up here as well? Let's try that. All right, so I click enter and it's mad at me. So I type in test, okay? I click enter, saying passwords must match. I get rid of that, I press enter. It says passwords required, so I type in test and I type in test 1. Passwords must match. I start typing, click, they match, and finally I get here. Okay, so that looks good. So then we are going to do our so we created the front end with the form, okay? And the next video, we will go ahead and deal with actually creating the Axios request. The reason I commented these out is because I want these to be in the .then portion of the Axios request. I don't want to reset these unless I submitted everything fine, okay? So we're going to end the video here and we will pick back up with the back end work for our new saved new password route.